Howdy, howlers. It's Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voight. I write thriller, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. Today I'm pulling the witch card and reading from this for about halfway through, so you can tell. I'll wait a couple of minutes for people to come in, and we'll do the thing. Good morning, pronoun. And Christina, Cliftina Fur. Good to see you guys. Glorious morning indeed, Nicole. Thanks. It's from last night.
Well, I just put in fresh water on the look right when you guys got here.
Yeah, my parents are handling the cat box. Pardon the weirdness. Good morning, gorgeouses. Good morning, gorgeouses. All right, this has gone terribly wrong. Glorious is such a wonderful word. I agree. Full of glory. Hello, L.R. Archer. I'm so glad you're here. You missed yesterday's, which is kind of tragic because there was all kinds of like interesting omens and stuff like that we were covering. It's gonna take forever for me to do this thing. Are there pictures of? Oh, yeah, this.
Not so bad.
Yeah, me and my sister when we were little, and also high school, because they missed us growing up. So, little me's. I was going to go back and listen to it when I'm baking in the kitchen later today. Cool. I definitely had my my thoughts, my scrutinization of some of the omens that didn't seem to make sense. Not to me, anyway. Ugh, this is going to take all day. My string got pulled at some point. It is 10:05, and yet everything is like 5 minutes off. Everything is like 5 minutes off. What are you baking today? May I ask? Bong bong, indeed. We got to the superstitious parts of Appalachian Craft. They were interesting. Hi, Debbie. Good to see you this morning. And Doll is here. Definitely missed. If your palm itches, you're coming into money. Yeah. Oh, so close. So close. If you drop a dish towel, you will be surprised guest. I got that from a spin-off Little House book. Oh. Doll is rehearsing and recording spooky Icelandic song, and we'll add it to this audio version of the short. That's awesome. Bouncing again, because I have to do all the things. We were without power for a good bit today. Oh, but I had to come and drop a like and say hello. So good to see you stop by. Sage, we'll see you around probably tomorrow, yeah? Do the thing. Is that actually a thing? Peanut butter cookie bars and some lemon cookies, awesome. I plan on putting together a few more freezer meals as well. Exactly that sort of thing. If your ear is burning, someone is talking bad about you. Oh, I just thought it was talking about you. Like, not necessarily a bad thing, but hello, what now? I haven't seen you in a hot minute. We're talking about weird shit today. Superstitions. Yay, all the peoples. I'm so close. So close. I'm like determined to get this solved before I start reading. Also, people are still coming in. I heard if you see someone is talking about you, yeah. The hottest of hot minutes, dare I say, an infernal minute. Yeah. Well, it hasn't been that long, but it's been long enough. Definitely tomorrow. Fanfics and chill at midnight. Tonight. And yeah, and then Great Win at 9 a.m. Yes. And Halloween karaoke at 3. There might be background noise tomorrow. Haha. I think a cat pulled it all the way through. I think that's a thing. Where? Ohio. Delightful. Delaware, Ohio. North of Columbus. Ears burning. Someone's talking about you. A dream wherein your teeth fall out as someone close to you has betrayed you. Oh, that's not one I've heard. Brilliant. Akron. Oh. While the Ohio people rejoice. I dream of falling teeth all the time. I don't know if it's an omen, but certainly something that your brain has to process. I bet our school played yours. Yeah. I've had a few dreams of my teeth falling out, not just one or two. Others, all of my teeth come out, you know. I don't often have teeth falling out dreams. Okay, I did that. Be mad. Okay. I think I figured out where we left off. Yeah, something out of control, yeah. I think it's something to do with symbolic defanging, yeah. What if we are the old wives? Yeah, that is rife with old wives, yeah. My dreams are usually bad, so I don't pay too much attention anymore. Unless I feel extremely bad when I wake up, then it means something. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight for one night only, it's the old wives. All right. Transference. Excuse me. Transference rites don't focus solely on healing and removing disease either. They can be done to remove spirits and conjure tricks placed on you. To remove the spirit of a haint from their old home, get a potato and an item that belonged to them in life. Right? Yep, I remember that. Okay. To remove a conjuring placed on you, take one hair from the crown of your head, an eyebrow hair, and a nail clipping, which I think I read too. Knitting needles by permit only. Another example of transference is one I believe everyone has heard. Eat a lot of carrots so your eyesight and hearing will be good, like that of a rabbit. This one is odd because it doesn't bring the rabbit into direct relation. Instead, the only connection is the belief that the rabbit's food, the carrot, is the reason they see and hear so well. Therefore, by eating the rabbit's food, you can also gain those qualities of a rabbit through implied transference. Again, science debunks. All right, have fun with your awesomeness. Many other transference rites, however, bring the animal into direct relations, such as swallowing a fish's bladder to become a good swimmer, or eating a turtle's heart to become brave. Lastly, the widespread phenomenon of transference rites appears not in the formulas or cures, but in the transition of knowledge from one person to the next. Oftentimes, certain formulas or gifts, such as fire talking, were only shared with the closest relative of the opposite sex at death. Other times, charms could be shared with only 3 people, after which point the bearer would lose the gift. And in still other regions, a person could be of any sex and their gift could be shared as much as possible, but those related by blood could not be taught. Since we see here how transference affects the body and is likewise channeled by the body, in the example of planting peppers mentioned above, let's move on to the rights of the body. Recreational cannibalism. Yeah, a little bit. Hooray for art. Oh, here we go. Super fun. Refinishing a vanity, yeah. Rabbits don't eat carrots, they eat the tops. They eat the root, it's like eating candy. Yeah. Exactly. Beta carotene, I believe, is the thing that makes your eyesight good. Also turns your skin orange if you eat enough of it. All right, see you later. Okay, weird. Shaking up arms in battleground states. Yeah. Not actively against that. Just don't think a would-be cannibal should have to make a big deal of mental gymnastics about it. Societal pressures, am I right? There are old formulas, stories, and superstitions focusing on parts of the body. In this section, we'll focus primarily on restoring health by treating 2 crucial parts, the head and the feet. One of the most widespread is that of keeping the head covered in graveyards. To do otherwise could leave you vulnerable to haints hopping on your back and following you home. The head is also the crown of your soul, the eyes the windows to it, and the chest is its seat. The head acts like the roof of that home. I have a burrito blanket at home in my blanket fort. Burrito blanket. Itchy back. Can't quite reach. I want one so bad. Sleep as a human burrito wrapped up all cozy, so it seems fitting. They're very comfy and surprisingly warm. Absolutely. The head is the crown of the soul and should be protected. Many people hold superstitious beliefs about hats and other head coverings. It's bad luck to lay a hat on a table or bed. When a black cat crosses a man's path, he's supposed to turn his hat backward until he gets to where he's going in order to avert the foretold bad luck. For fever, I will make up some redbud tea from the bark of the tree and take a very small sip from a straw and blow it on the crown of a sick person's head before they drink the remainder of the tea. Depending on the person and their specific condition, I mix it with certain prayers and methods that I won't share here. A good doctor doesn't reveal everything. Growing up, whenever we had an earache, my mother would blow tobacco smoke in our ears. I want a chunky blanket with a big beanbag chair. That is not a terrible thing to demand. I have 2 Papa-San cushions that I lay on the floor. And I bundle up in my blanket, burrito blanket, inside my blanket. No, not yet. They do it at the 30 and then the top of the hour. Yeah. We're not bakers here. We're not doctors either, but still yet, doctors are not bakers. Deep cover mode, yeah. Smart ass. Growing up, yep, read that part. If you ever get a toothache, try holding tobacco smoke in your mouth. That doesn't make sense. If you ever get for any pain from the jaw up, fever, toothache, earache, and so on, hold a button made of bone in your mouth until the pain subsides. The cure is somewhat reminiscent of taking the host at church and could very well be a folk invention based on that rite. Many times such remedies are bags or curios hung around the neck, like the case with hanging mole feet around the neck of a teething child, or wearing a bag of buttercups around the neck for insomnia, confusion, and other maladies of the head. The feet are the second most vulnerable point of the body. They are the foundation. One's feet are especially susceptible to being poisoned by conjurings and roots placed for the person in the form of powders, dirt, sprinkled water, or buried charms. Sicknesses can also enter through the feet and likewise be drawn out. My grandmother always fussed at me when I was little and my feet were dirty from playing outside in the woods barefoot. She'd say, "You best clean them feet or they'll have you walking all wrong." Not sure if she was alluding to the whipping I'd get if I didn't clean them, or to picking up some sickness, but I didn't leave a lick of dirt on them lest I was to find out. There's Nightbot. Yep, there you go. Sorry, zoning out. I'm sleepy. The head and feet comprise the top and bottom of the house of the soul. The Cherokee believes that the soul lives in the chest, home of the heart, and the place we experience half of our existence, the other half being in the mind. In the Free Will Baptist Church, folks are anointed on the forehead, chest, and feet. On the Thursday before Easter, probably known as Maundy Thursday, Baptists wash each other's feet as Jesus washed the feet of others in the Bible. This is to remind them of compassion and humility, but also offer protection and health to those washed during the Holy Week. Oftentimes, members of the congregation burst into tears or yell and holler in the presence of the Holy Spirit. Other times, they simply cry and lay blessings on the one washing them. The church also anoints from the head to the toes, as shown in Leviticus 14 to 28. And the and the priest shall take some of the blood of the trespass offering, and the priest shall put it on the tip of the right ear that is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. Leviticus 14:14. Their Christian Chester. Oh, there's something in tobacco has him healing effects, including lowering risk of Parkinson's. It helps with my gut spasms and sometimes types of pain. Tobacco. I would like to thank you for all the excuses for continuing the habit. You're good friends. Yeah. Okay. The clothes worn on the body also hold special significance in folk magic. You've seen previously how hair is taken from the crown of the head in some formulas to effect initiate change in an ailment, but the feet are also just as useful. Foot track works and shoe magic have appeared in Appalachia in numerous tales and superstitions. If you walk behind someone in their footsteps, it's said they'll die. Placing bare notes and dry herbs such as red pepper in the shoes is also done in certain formulas for protection from conjuring, to guard against haunts, and to attract good fortune. Yeah, let's all hear it for tobacco. Woo! Yes. Faith healing, to me, straightforward enough rituals that stimulate a temporary respite. Yeah, it's a palliative, not a cure. Yeah, that's what I'm gathering. Pass it on to someone else type of thing. At least that was the transference thing. Old shoes hold the shape of the wearer's foot, and in this way they hold that person's essence. Old shoes were dusted with baby powder, salt, red pepper, and other things at hand for protection from conjure, illness, and accident. Sprinkle new salt, a container or packet of salt.
It is.
Hi, this is Brian D. calling on behalf of the solarproject.com. How are you today?
This was the crux of the discussion yesterday. To an extent, all magic is faith healing. Basically. Or take a piece of brown paper bag and fold it into salt, red pepper, and dirt from the church, and place this in your left shoe to prevent yourself from being conjured or shot at. Hi there, Brian. I'm fine, thanks for asking. Is there a Brian? Weird. Unless, of course, something scientific can back up the assertion, such as with tobacco. I keep falling asleep trying to read. Oh, my condolences. Yeah. Foot massage is very helpful for me personally, and my grandpa does healing foot rubs and helped his best friend's mom get pregnant by rubbing her feet for healing. Interesting. The voice on the phone said he was Brian and asked, how are you today? Ah, yes. While something may be foreign to a specific tradition, it doesn't make it less real to another. And Turtle recommends rest. Tripping over my words a lot in the mornings. Likewise, old preachers may anoint the inner rim of their hat with blessed oil when doing a funeral to keep the haints away. Other formulas prescribed during the unwashed garments of someone to make them go mad, lose their hair, or waste away to death. The garments must have been worn so that they contain essential connections to the person through sweat or odor. Yeah. I got you, hon. The head and feet hold great importance in the magic of Appalachia, especially in cleansing, blessing, and protecting. Around here, you'll go to great lengths to make sure you are upheld, kept clean, and cared for from the top of your head to the soles of your feet, as the old church prayer goes. Measuring rites. Posture checks. All the stretches. Sitting up straight. Oh, my hands are all warm now. Hugs for Jace. It's exhausting times for our souls. It's true. Measuring practices can be seen in a plethora of tales of the upland South for remedying ailments such as back pain, rheumatism, worms, and inflammation. Silk thread is often used for measuring rites for infants and children, whereas regular yarn, thread, or twine is used for adults in measuring practices. Tenacious D, in all seriousness, I hope your soul finds rejuvenation very soon. Indeed. One practice involves measuring an afflicted or symbolic part of the body with a length of yarn or twine and tying it with a series of knots. Ooh, knot magic. Differing formulas specify what to do with the knotted yarn. For chills, I will measure the diameter of a person's torso because that's where the body shakes and shivers. Use a length of red string to measure and take it out to a tree in the woods. I tie a knot in the line for each day the chills have been present. I then tie the yarn around the trunk and leave it there without looking back. The chills will go to the tree with the same number of days as there are knots in the line. There's that transference thing again, which I don't like. I don't like the idea of transferring, like, oh, there's this thing that's ailing me. I'll just give it to somebody else. No, dispel that shit. To remove fever, there we go. Measure the girth of a patient's head with a white thread. The color of the string is based on the need of the person or the case at hand. The red string is for chills, the red string for the chills brings the warmth of the blood and sun. A white string is the color of snow to cool the fever. The head is measured because a fever is thought to sit in the head, and it's the first place mothers always feel to check for one. Tie 3 knots in the thread in the name of the Trinity and place it in a bowl of cold water beneath the bed. The fever usually breaks within the hour. For someone who has frequent nosebleeds, measure their left ring finger with white string. The left ring finger is measured because it is closest to the heart, having a larger artery than on the right hand. Wet the string with the blood from a nosebleed. Then knot the string 3 times in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. To take that knotted and bloody thing out to a willow tree and bury it in under the dirt, right at the base of the roots, on the east side of the tree. I ain't had a nosebleed since this rite was done for me. That's going on about 12 years now. Measure the girth, and then the sentence disappointed me. Yeah. In the Wincy Bar series, people take on another person's pain willingly to help, which they liked. Yeah. That's different, though. Like, to take things onto yourself as opposed to take what's on you and just put it on some unsuspecting victim. Like, it's different. Measuring rites don't focus solely on healing. To keep a dog or cat from running away, measuring the length of its tail or the length from its left hind foot to the tip of the tail with a holly branch or a red string, and bury this under the doorstep, including a carefully acquired snip of fur from the scruff of the animal's neck and the tip of the tail. To tie a man's nature up, meaning that he will only be sexually attracted to you. Pages. He will only be attracted to you, and he won't be running around on you with someone else. Measure the length of his penis with a red string. Now you go about doing this. How you go about doing this is your own business. Braid this string with 2 strips of his dirty underwear and take it to a living honeysuckle bush. Tie the vines around the braid snug, but don't break them. As the vines grow more around it, as they gain bark and strength during the growing season, he'll be closer to you and it'll be harder for him to leave you for another. It's actually guy by the name of Jake Richards. It's a dude. I think there's a picture of him on the back. It's this dude. It's like gossamer for your mind. Yeah. Oh, a Mitzi Bat by Francesca LeBlanc. Created a character once who had accelerated healing and the ability to take other people's ailments. Mm-hmm. I need to eat something. Tummy just grumbled. Now, if a man wants to tie a woman's nature up, he doesn't utilize the measurement of her genitals. Instead, he takes the measurement of her left big toe, her left foot, or her left leg. Ask any man in Appalachia, our women are always on the go, doing something or another, which may explain the use of the foot and leg here. We also know why the man's genitals are used. Think on it if you need to. He'll take this measurement of string and urinate on it. The use of urine in American folk magic is very common, and more often than not, it is the first relief of the morning that it is put to use. When the string is wet with his water, he will bury it under the doorstep where she'll walk over it. She won't be running around on him again after that. Other ways of tying a partner up involves slugs and genitals, but that's for another book. We're reading a fairy tale from the 90s. It was like brown weathered leather brown book. Cool. Ethereal is a description of her work. Yeah. Totally misspelled her name. Nicole has the right spelling. Cool. Yeah, control your partner much. Yeah. And as far as I know, urine is kind of a curse. So, like, it's only used against someone. Pegging, plugging, and nailing rights. Oh, wait. I skipped a thing. Measuring can also be done against an enemy. To cause them grief and struggle, get some soft black dog hair and spin it into a yarn with a spindle. Then measure the width of the heel of your enemy's foot and cut the string to that length. Bore a hole into the western base of a black walnut with a solid pocket knife and stick the string into the hole with some salt, black pepper, and snakeskin and plug the hole up. Your enemy will be grieving and struggling as long as that's plugged up. Pegging, plugging, and nailing rights. Pegging or plugging are the half-sisters of measuring in the ways they're employed. Pegging utilizes 3 parts in its first working. First, the measurement of a person or animal compared to a tree. Second, the type and age of the tree itself. And third, outgrowing the measurement of the peg. Yeah. When you consider how all of this is based on Christian foundation, I'm not surprised by the control elements. Yeah. Toxic masculinity and all that. Pegging rites are usually done with children and their ailments, since the main purpose is to outgrow the marking so they likewise outgrow the sickness or the problem that was plugged into the hole. Pegging is mostly done with trees, although door frames, walls, and poles are sometimes used. Nailing is related to pegging. I'm sorry, but my definition of pegging is very different. I think Jace will agree with me. It was, yeah. Nailing is related to pegging solely in the act of holding something or someone down, back, or in place. So binding. Yeah. Yeah. To stop a bleed, place some of the blood into a hole with some honey and plug the hole. Sometimes peggings that are often done for healing are made into the east side of the tree, or sometimes the hole is made where the sun first hits the tree in the morning, because that's the auspicious direction of the Christian, English, and pagan natives alike. You can also plug up your enemy's life or stop up the bladder of the witch who cursed you. One way of doing this is to collect the hair or dirt from the property of the witch who cursed you. Some salt or sugar borrowed from them would work just as well. To take this to a pawpaw tree and bore a hole into the wood at the crotch of the trunk on the western side. Fill the hole with dirt, hair, or borrowed thing and plug it back up. Then drive 3 horseshoe nails into the plug. The only way to remove this would be to remove the nails and the plug from the wood and burn the contents. That's just a different hole, yeah. I also want to take a minute to be clear about something. I do not follow this style of magic personally. Yeah, I don't either. Some things are kind of interesting, I have to admit, but it's not really my paradigm, you know. I was raised in it by a family who would never call themselves witches, but who behaved like witches nonetheless. Yep. I just think you're well read. Yeah, conjurers, as they were. As they were. The pawpaw tree has always been associated with the dead and witchcraft in Appalachia, even before colonization. I call it the Appalachian pomegranate, mountain food for the dead. It has a sweet banana mango flavor to it, but the deer would not eat the fruit and many beasts avoid it because of the rotting meat smell the flowers give off. To keep something held down, whether you're wanting your man to stay with you or to remain in the home that you're in, take a wooden peg, a stake, or a railroad spike. There we go, Sako. And something of the person's out to this. Let me try this sentence again. It's so long. It's like more than half of this paragraph. To keep something held down, whether you're wanting your man to stay with you or to remain home in the home that you're in. Take a wooden peg, stake, or railroad spike and something of the person's out to the west side of your home and drive it down into the ground. Leave a couple of inches of the stake above ground. For each day for 7 to 9 days, take the stake out and whisper your petition or prayer into the hole. On the final day, drive the stake straight into the ground and cover it up. That's a hell of a binding. Jeez. That's a vicious one. I currently have 3 railroad spikes in my witch cabinet. They're about to find themselves hanging above my doors on account of the veil thinning. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Excuse my yawn. So that was, I think the next section is directional rights. So many rights. Saints on the river. We're not that far off from the next chapter. Mine either interesting to learn about. Might twist some things around for my story though. Yeah, you gotta join the server. For the Halloween or because of the world? More so the Samhain thing and All Saints Day and all of that jazz. I agree, but I am now in tech grandma space. Just if you have Discord, then you can just click the link and it will basically be like, hey, you want to join this server? You've been invited. And then you click it and you'll do the thing. You're cute. You will be often accused of bringing pizza. Depending on... I guess I'm going to be taking a nap. What the hell? Samhain tomorrow. The veil is the thinnest. Things will be passing more freely between worlds. Yep. My blood family are the same way. It took me a good while to learn about who they are and their beliefs. I still don't understand them, but having some knowledge of their beliefs is interesting. Yeah, we'll help you figure it out. Yeah. Cool. Oh. General. Morning back as Belle for Halloween with my students. Yay! Yay! You don't have Discord. You can sign up. It is free. Download it. I think I'm gonna wrap this session up because I am yawning up a storm and tripping over my words. I have no idea how to log into Savvy's thing. Thing? What thing? Her Discord server? There is more than one to pick though, right? Correct? There's only one Discord, but there are lots and lots of servers. which are kind of like chat rooms, sort of. Maybe we'll hang out in the voice chat later. Thank you all for joining me today while I stumbled through this freaking book. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.